We all know Timon and Pumbaa as the worry-free meerkat and warthog that live by Hakuna Matata. They live a happy life without any duties. In the Lion Guard, we also see that they introduced Christmas to the Pride Lands, the great holiday they had heard about from an ox, that had heard it from a yellow wagtail, that had heard it from a flying reindeer. Doesn't sound terribly believable, does it? We see that Timon is not always the smartest and often forgets things, so it could be he doesn't remember this clearly either. Well, have you ever wondered how they really found out about Christmas? When we look at The Lion King 1.5, we see how Timon and Pumbaa were already in The Lion King since the beginning, and not since the moment they found Simba. We also see that Timon has had quite a journey before meeting Pumbaa. He even meets Rafiki before reaching the Pride Lands. And when Timon told Rafiki he was looking for his dream home, Rafiki told him about Hakuna Matata, a phrase that means no worries. But what if this wasn't the only thing Rafiki introduced him to? What if Rafiki told Timon about Christmas? Because as I explained in another video, Rafiki knows a lot more than we might think. We all know Rafiki as the old wise mandrill that helps all the animals and draws important paintings of the past. He likes to travel a lot, but is mostly in the Pride Lands since he is the royal Mjuzi there, which means he helps the kingdom, healing the sick animals and always giving good advice. He also has a Bakura staff. That staff can help him bring his paintings to life or talk to the lions of the past. We often hear him talk about the lions of the past, mostly about Mufasa. Mufasa was known as one of the best kings the Pride Lands ever had, so he probably had good advice. But Rafiki wasn't the only one that could talk with the lions of the past. Because in the Lion King movie, we also see Simba talk to the spirit of his father in the sky. And later, we see even Simba's son, Kion, talking to him. But in the beginning of the movie, when Mufasa was still alive, we see how he teaches his son Simba what he had heard from his own father. He taught him about the meaning of the stars, saying, "These are all the great kings of the past watching over them." He told them how they will always be there for him, and so will he.
The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars.
Really?
And here is where it gets interesting. Because when we look at the Lion Guard, Timon and Pumbaa know when Christmas is coming by looking at the stars. They say when you can see a big bright star, that means the next day is Christmas. But what if that star is a great lion of the past? What if this was the spirit of a great lion that saw that times were harsh, so he made up something positive to celebrate for the animals? He came up with this great holiday. When he would appear above the Pride Lands, then they would know it was time. This lion told Rafiki about his plan and told him to tell all the animals he saw about it, because he wanted it to be a day of harmony and being together. Just like Pumbaa says to the Lion Guard. And to make this holiday even better, the animals should decorate a Christmas tree. And if they really did their best and also performed the 12 ways of Christmas perfectly, Dandy Claus would stop by and bring them a gift. But how could it be that Timon and Pumbaa would be the first ones in the Pride Lands to celebrate this? Well, when we look at the time Timon meets Rafiki in The Lion King 1.5, we hear Timon talking about a place he wants to find, a place without worries.
Some beautiful place outside, a carefree place where I don't have to hide or worry.
This was a very long time ago, during the time Simba was born. Rafiki tells Timon to look beyond what he sees. He points him towards the Pride Lands, knowing the animals had a great life over there.
Look beyond what you see.
Beyond what I see.
And another reason he sent Timon to the direction of the Pride Lands could be because he knew Christmas was coming. Because when Rafiki and Timon met, it was also nighttime. So maybe Rafiki told Timon to follow a big bright star to find his happiness without worries. And this may have been Christmas in the Pride Lands. Well, Timon didn't find Christmas there yet, because as we see, Timon is not always the smartest and sometimes forgets about things. But he did find something else on his way to the big pointy rock, because he did meet Pumbaa on the way, and they became best friends. They traveled to lots of places, meeting all kinds of animals. We also see that they traveled through the Pride Lands before they found their home in the jungle. So maybe they really met one of the animals that they say they've heard about Christmas from. Because everyone in the Pride Lands can, of course, see the big bright star when Christmas is coming. Maybe they don't really know what it means, but it could be that they talk about it. Maybe then Timon remembered that he had once heard what this big bright star means. Because I don't believe there are flying reindeers in the Lion King, like Timon and Pumba say. But how did Timon and Pumbaa convince the whole Pride Lands to celebrate Christmas, you might wonder? Well, Timon and Pumbaa then started to celebrate Christmas every year, and it became Timon's favorite holiday since he loved to get presents. But in the beginning, they still only celebrated Christmas together, without the animals of the Pride Lands. But then, something changed. The peak of the rainy season had finally come, which means it was the time for Utamu, another holiday Timon and Pumbaa celebrated. On this day, you can find a special grub that only comes out one day during the peak of the rainy season. As Timon and Pumbaa were walking past Mapema Rock on their way to the Utamu, something grabbed Pumbaa's leg. When he looked down, he saw a cute little honey badger. They first weren't so sure about keeping him since they already raised a kid, which was Simba. So Timon tested him, telling him to find the Utamu in a big high tree. Timon expected him to be scared and run away, but the brave little guy happily got the Utamu. When they saw how brave he was, they decided to keep and raise him, and because of his bravery, they named him Bunga. From then on, they celebrated Christmas with the three of them. They all got presents for each other and decorated a Christmas tree, hoping Dandy Claus would show up someday. But since the 12 Ways of Christmas song had to be done with lots of animals working together, they never succeeded in performing the song right. But then, one year, that all changed. Christmas was coming again, and Timon and Pumbaa explained to the Lion Guard what Christmas was. Timon became really sad. He told them how badly he wanted Dandy Claus to show up and began to cry. The Lion Guard was impressed by this whole Christmas thing since they had never heard about it before. As they later continued their duties, they came with the idea to give Timon a Christmas he would never forget. They wanted to perform the 12 Ways of Christmas for him. With the help of Bunga, they went to get everything from the song together. They needed a lot. Lions, crocodiles, elephants, hippos, and many other animals. It was a lot of work, and as night began to fall, they finally got everything together. They practiced the song all night, and when the stars rose, Bunga finally got to wake Timon for their show. With so many animals together, it was hard to keep it all organized, but this made it all quite a show. Eventually, the song went on better than they expected, and it brought all the animals together in a positive way. And well, you could say Timon and Pumbaa were impressed. After this year, they decided to make it a tradition, and all the animals in the Pride Lands celebrated Christmas every year. But what do you think? Could it be that Rafiki and a great lion of the past were the true masterminds behind Christmas? Or was there really a flying reindeer that told the friends of Timon and Pumbaa about Christmas? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as Christmas is coming, remember that we aren't the only ones celebrating Christmas. Happy holidays, and see you in the next one.